Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to Headteacher's briefing for Maiden Early School in Reading for this week. I hope you're doing well. Some really good things happening this week. We had our Think Ahead Day on Wednesday, a great day where we paused the normal timetable to allow students to do some activities around either thinking skills and developing their own learning skills, their ability to become more and more independent in their learning, or they were focused on life beyond school and what the options are, what the different opportunities are for young people these days as they move on from schools, and just to get some of them really thinking about the steps that they need to take so that they get to where they want. So thank you to all the staff that were involved in that, and the students I know had a great time, and it was a really enjoyable day as well. We'll be sharing some pictures of Think Ahead Day in the next edition of our Pulse magazine. Year 11 Parents' Evening, very important meeting evening this week, on last night in fact, on Thursday, and thank you to the Year 11 parents who participated in that and were able to engage in the conversations about Year 11 students and what we needed to do in these final few weeks as we approach the GCSEs. So a very important evening last night. And we're today having a little bit of focus on our work with our most able students and looking at the work we've been doing, some audit work and some development work that we've been doing over the last few months and over the last couple of years, in fact, just improving our work to challenge our most able. So that's going to be an important day today. COVID update for you. Cases are starting to rise amongst the students. So we've got around 35 to 40 students now off with COVID. So really important that we do keep those tests going twice weekly. Even if there are no symptoms, keep testing twice a week, because we can catch that infection before it affects those people. Of course, we wish anybody who's suffering with COVID well and a speedy recovery. Not too many of our students are actually feeling poorly, but they still are carrying that infection. So we will keep an eye on that. As you know from announcements made earlier in the week and last week, the face coverings guidance has now changed, so that students no longer have to wear face coverings within lessons. Next week we will also be removing them from other public places. Obviously we've got to keep an eye on the figures, because if our cases continue to rise, then it would seem a little bit odd to take these kind of measures too quickly. So we will tend to, as usual, follow government advice, but if we feel we need to go beyond government advice in terms of safety, then we will not hesitate to do so. Please also can I encourage everybody to get a vaccination and to do that quickly, so because we know that that's the best form of defence against the spread of COVID. Coming up this week, we've got a very important evening for Year 8 parents. We have our options evening, opportunity to come and find out about the options process and also find out a little bit more about some of those subjects which might be less familiar to students. Also, I just wanted to give the opportunity really to talk about how you might get involved supporting the school. Two opportunities particularly. One is to perhaps join our Parent-Teacher Association, which we're trying to get off the ground, to fundraise and just to raise awareness of the school amongst the parent body, but also our local advisory body, or our school governors board. And the local advisory body are very important because they help support the management and the leadership of the school, hold us to account, and just ensure that we are keeping to the things that we say that we're going to do. And we're a little bit short of members on the LAB at the moment, and if you think you might have some skills and a little bit of time to give to supporting the work of the school, then I'd really like to hear from you and explore whether joining the lab, commitments around 5 meetings a year plus some additional meetings in school with members of staff. It really doesn't have to take up a huge amount of time, but the time that you can give is very valuable, and there's a real and tangible benefit to the school of doing that. So maybe have a little think about that. Do get in touch if you are able to or wish to explore any further. And finally this week, I just wanted to share with you a short story really about a member of the student body, a student who really epitomises for me the reason that we're here and we do what we do. And this student is currently in year 11. When he joined us in year 7, really struggled, and we had to put in a lot of support to this young man to help him around his regulation and around some of the additional needs that he's had. And he's had his struggles and faced his struggles, but say a couple of days ago he came to my office and he wanted to practice his English spoken piece. All students doing English have to do an English spoken piece, and he had been working really hard on this piece, and he read it for me, and he spoke clearly, eloquently, and he was able to talk with real understanding about the theme, which was how his grandfather had inspired him. And you know what, that speech inspired me. It shows you that and showed me that all of the investment that we put in to our students, no matter what their challenges are, no matter what the issues that they have to face, are really worth it, and we can really see the fruits of that in our students as they grow, mature, and develop in their learning. And this young man, he's got a place now at college, and he's going to do really well there, I'm sure. And he thanks me at the end of it, and he thanks me for the work that the school had done and had really supported him. So just a nice little, maybe insignificant story, but it was certainly significant to me. So that's it for this week. I hope you have a good weekend, and we'll be back with another Head Teachers Update next week.